back to the grind with the only free MMA channel that fucking matters, full-time MMA. And just as I predicted, Chris Weidman was too big for Kelvin Gastelum, man. But I will say this. I am not a fan of Chris Weidman. I'm not a fan of Gian Villante. I'm not a fan of Aljamain Sterling. I'm not a fan of anybody that comes out of that camp. Literally, I do not think that is one of the best MMA camps you can train at. If you train at fucking Longo Serra, it's like they know that they're not the best trainers in the world, so the fighters can do whatever the fuck they want, and they have to be okay with it, or else the fighters are gonna go to a better camp. So it's like these fighters can be boring, they can lose a bunch, and they never get any criticism from their coaches because the coaches know that they're lucky to fucking have them in their gym. I mean, I could be fucking crazy, but I'm telling you, Chris Weidman was too big for Kelvin Gastelum. Matt Serra always talks about how he doesn't like bullies, but you let your fucking fighter Chris Weidman go in there versus a guy that's that's 15 pounds smaller than your dude. Kelvin Gastelum is a natural 170 pounder, and he still set Chris Weidman on his ass. Chris Weidman had to wrestle fuck Gastelum, and I'm telling you, against a legitimate middle, I picked Chris Weidman to win this fight because I knew he was too big and he's a wrestler. So this is how I predicted the fight to go. But that's not because I'm a fan of Chris Weidman. I'm actually pissed off the fight went the way I thought it was going to go, because it just shows me Chris Weidman has to fucking wrestle fuck a dude and hope that no one fucking drops his ass, man. I used to be a huge Anderson Silva fan. Chris Weidman got lucky against Anderson Silva 2 times. Then he went on to beat fucking Vitor Belfort and some other old Brazilian for his first 2 title defenses. And then he got his ass kicked for the next 3 fights. Now he's going against a welterweight. Chris Weidman, the middleweight champion, is going against a welterweight in Kelvin Gastelum, and he's fucking celebrating like his life depends on it. Dude, you fucking beat a guy smaller than you. I swear to God. I'm not saying Chris Weidman's a bitch. I'm not saying anything derogatory about that camp. I just personally don't like them. I don't think they're the best fighters in the world. Even though I picked this fight to go this way, I'm telling you, man, even Aljamain Sterling, the Rasta and Pasta, can have boring fights. Gian Villante, knucklehead, he doesn't listen to his corner. He doesn't go in there and win fights. He loses to guys he's supposed to win against. Chris Weidman, he fucking goes in there to take guys down to make it a boring fight. The only reason the crowd was on Chris Weidman's side is because he's a hometown guy. If he would have been doing this same shit in any other city, any other country, they would have been booing. They would have been on Kelvin Gastelum's side, man. I actually like Kelvin Gastelum as a fighter more than Chris Weidman. He literally just put a fucking man on deck and went in there and fought a dude bigger than him just because Dana White told him, "You can't go to 170. You missed weight 2 times. I will never allow it." Like a fucking king or an emperor or something. This dude missed weight fucking twice, and it's like, he literally said, "I'm sorry, Dana." He apologized to Dana White like it was his fucking king. Like, "I'm sorry, Dana. I'll do whatever I have to do. I'll show up to your house at 170 pounds. And Dana White's like, "No, you will fight at 185. Like, oh my God, you guys don't understand. Like, and I hope somebody understands where I'm coming from, because I predicted this to happen. I predicted Chris Weidman to be too big for Kelvin Gastelum. But if they were both, pound for pound wise, Kelvin Gastelum is the better fighter. Pound for pound, Kelvin Gastelum dropped a dude that was Kelvin Gastelum's stock got raised in this fight to me, because he went in there and he didn't just get completely wrestle fucked. He put up a fight. He showed warrior spirit. He set Chris Weidman down on his ass. And so even though I fucking predicted Chris Weidman to win, I'm not a fan. He didn't come out there. He lost the hands battle. When they were throwing hands, Chris Weidman was getting dropped. Now in the 3rd round, 2nd round, he did have a little flurry, and I was like, okay, Weidman, there's some fucking hands. But he's going to go in there and try and wrestle fuck guys and hope that they don't blast his ass like Yoel Romero or Gegard. He's going to try and take you down with some nice single leg takedowns because he's a wrestler. But I'm just not a fan, man. I'm really not. So Chris Weidman got the win tonight. I predicted it. I'm not happy with it. Actually, I'm not happy. I can't think of one fighter off the top of my head from that entire camp that I'm happy with. Gian Villante, Aljamain Sterling, Chris Weidman. Who am I missing? Please, because it's like Matt Serra, he's on Dana White looking for a fight. He's on UFC Unfiltered. He's not worried about that fucking camp as much as he needs to be, like a Greg Jackson or whoever trains Tyron Woodley, AT&T, Duke Rufus, whoever the fuck is to me, AT&T is the best team out there. Next, probably Greg Jackson's camp out in New Mexico, and then the rest. But I'll tell you who's not number 3, 4, or 5, and it's Serra Longo. To me, yeah, you're a fucking big wrestler, so yeah, you're gonna wrestle fuck guy. All the guys you can. Literally, his corner was telling him, yeah, that was the perfect round. That was the perfect round after he wrestle-fucked Gastelum in the second round. Like, they were just coming out here, as I predicted, and fucking hoping for a W. They didn't care about entertaining the fans. They didn't care about making it a fun fight. All they wanted was a W because Chris Weidman was starting to look like Buster Douglas. He got lucky against Anderson Silva. He beat a couple old Brazilians, and then he got his ass kicked 3 times in a row. Now he comes out here and gets a fucking middleweight win against a legitimate welterweight. And what, is he back to being the All-American? I'm not happy. I don't know what else to say, man. Fuck it. It is what it is. I predicted this to happen, and I'm still not happy about the win. I mean, I wanted Weidman to win just as a prediction, but I don't know, man. I'm not even happy with the result. I'm really not, man. I just don't like this camp. I don't think I'm going to, unless they're at home, I'm not going to pick these fighters to win anymore. Gian Vellante, he came out and lost a split decision at home, a fight that should have been his. I'm not happy. Chris Weidman came out here and barely got the W against a guy that he's way bigger than. I'm not happy. Aljamain Sterling comes out and he says, I guess I have to start punching because the judges don't give you a decision on kicks. So he comes out and he's telling me he's planning on a decision. So what the fuck would I be happy about this camp for? They're not killers. They're like, what the fuck, man? It's like some, I don't know, casual professionals. They'll beat most people's asses off their athletic abilities, but as far as being real fighters, you know what they say, there's some people that are athletes that can fight and some fighters that are fighters, and this entire camp to me are athletes that can fight. They're not just real fighters like a Gegard or just like people that get down in there in the trenches and want to battle. These are just athlete dudes that are in MMA and they hope to win off their athleticism, and I'm not a big fan of it. So Chris Weidman got the W. I was right, but at the same time, I'm not fucking happy at all. It is what it is. Let the haters know what the fuck you have to say about this shit in the comments, dude. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7 was a well-known 6 offender. No, because 7, 8, 9. Take it both ways, bitch. Fuck you mean, dude.